Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. With Infinite Warfare fast approaching, I thought it might be a fun idea to make a top 5 things that Infinity Ward need to implement into Infinite Warfare Zombies in order for the mode to be a resounding success. And I'll also just be talking about my hopes for the mode really as well. So without further ado, let's begin. Number 5 is something that I think really should go without saying, but it's also been lacking a bit in my opinion in Black Ops 3 Zombies, and that's humor. I want Infinity Ward to embrace the fact that Zombies doesn't have to be serious all the time. There's goofy stuff that happens all the time in this game, in Zombies, in Call of Duty, and I want them to embrace that and play with it and use it to their advantage and actually include some really funny characters, really funny dialogue, really funny situations, whatever it might be. Some humor would be massively appreciated because Black Ops 3 takes itself so seriously, and while there are some funny quotes and things like that, I feel like there's a lot of room for exploration in this area, and so that would be the first thing on my list. Number 4 is going to be replayability. Now, why would I even bother including this on the list, right? Of course it needs to be replayable. Well, I want to draw a distinction between what Zombies usually does and what Infinity Ward did in Extinction a couple of years ago. So in Extinction, you had a linear mission where you had to basically get to a certain area and then potentially run back through the map and you finish the level, all that sort of thing, right? In my opinion, it just fell a bit flat after the first few playthroughs, because you would run through the area and run back again and you'd finish, or you'd run through the area and fight a boss and you'd finish, or whatever, but it always, in my opinion, just felt a bit samey. The good thing about Black Ops 3 Zombies, and Exo Zombies as well, really, is that you have a lot more freedom to do whatever the hell you want. You can go and camp in a certain area, you can run a horde around a certain area of the map, you can run a horde around the whole area of the map if you like. You can do whatever. And I feel like Extinction didn't really have that replayability. So I feel like Infinity Ward really need to pluck the replayability factor that is in Black Ops 3 Zombies and Exo Zombies and various other zombie games as well, and try and seize it and bring it into their own IP too. Number 3, very, very important one this, okay? It's a pre-considered story. Another mistake they made with Extinction was that they started us all off with Point of Contact, that was the first map, and it didn't really have a proper story. They hadn't really thought of the story at that point, and the evidence of this is that they did a live stream, they had a couple of devs sitting down on a couch, and they went, oh, so we've had some responses to this map, and people have been saying they really want a story, so, well, maybe a meteorite is going to hit a volcano, and then maybe the volcano will explode, and aliens will come out? How does that sound? And it was literally on the spot. They just made it up. On the spot. Whereas Treyarch this year have been planning this story since mid-2013. So that's hella pre-considered, whereas Extinction was developed after the fact. So it was completely late. And this time round, I feel like with Infinite Warfare Zombies, Infinity Ward really need to have thought of the story before launch in order to be able to implement it effectively in all of their maps in DLC and in the base maps and all of that good stuff. Number 2, this is something that I think a lot of people don't realize is as important as it is, okay? And it's the feeling that a player gets when they do something in-game, like pack-a-punching, or popping a perkaholic, or anything like that, that makes them feel like a god, okay? In Exo Zombies, one of the real problems I had with that mode is that you had this constant upgrade process, right? You'd constantly be upgrading your gun. You can upgrade your gun so, it was like 20 times, 25 times, something like that. I think it was 20 and then you could jump to 25 with the extra bonus upgrade stations, something like that at least. And what it did is it meant that you kind of always felt like you were incrementally increasing your power, but you never had that spike that you get with a pack-a-punch. You never had that moment where you're like, oh my goodness, I've just gone from being fairly underpowered to so OP by just spending 5k points. I am now a god and I'm ready to rip through these zombies here. And the great thing about papping as well, I feel like they've kind of changed the way this works in Black Ops 3, but certainly in the older games, you pack-a-punch a gun and it is a monster, and it looks amazing. They look amazing in Black Ops 3, admittedly, but like the sound goes off the charts. The actual just feel of the gun is nuts. Like the PPSH pack-a-punch, and actually the, what was it? The FG42 in World at War pack-a-punched. What a gnarly weapon, man. So gritty and just visceral and awesome, and you felt so good using it. But then Exo Zombies came along, and it was like, yeah, screw your Pack-a-Punch, we're going to completely take away that power spike away from you, take away that power fantasy, and just kind of give you more of the same, which I didn't think was very fun. And in Black Ops 3, a lot of people have been kind of hesitant about the Pack-a-Punch upgrades as well. They've kind of felt like they're either a little boring, or they're too OP, or they just aren't necessarily as embraced as I think a really, really good upgrade system would be. So, for number 2 on my list, it's going to be basically giving the player opportunities to feel like a total wizard who is overpowered as hell, because it's just fun to do that sometimes. Not all the time, by all means. You don't have to make Perkaholics the sort of thing that you're going to be getting every single game or anything like that. But just having that power fantasy in there is vital in my opinion, and it would really improve the gameplay. So that's number 2. And finally, numero uno is, of course, Easter eggs. If we go back to Extinction and we look at the Easter eggs in that mode, oh my goodness me. They were a travesty. They were some of the most... I don't even want to say boring, because it doesn't really put into words what I'm getting at here. They just felt like they shouldn't even have been there. The Easter eggs in that mode, like making these little gold glowing teddies start popping out everywhere. What was that about? It was the most dull, mundane, useless side Easter egg I have ever seen. It was like they got to the end of development and then went, oh, we need to do that one thing. Oh yeah, we need Easter eggs for the community that actually likes Easter eggs. Yeah, oh crap, okay. Let's make these glowing teddies. No, you don't need to give them a normal map. You don't need to actually model them or anything like that. It's just going to be the sort of blob. Yeah, just make it like a gold blob and make it just explode everywhere. Easter eggs. And it wasn't very good. It didn't really work. And that was sort of the extent of the Easter eggs in Extinction. There was some other stuff as well, admittedly, but that was like the thing that people were looking for. And you compare that to Black Ops 3, that's like one of the small Easter eggs that kind of goes unnoticed in Shadows. Like in Shadows of Evil, right? You can upgrade your trip mines and they become like Holly's cream cakes and stuff like that, or donuts. That's a cool little Easter egg, but it's a cool little Easter egg. It's not a cool big Easter egg, right? And the whole point in the small Easter eggs is that they accompany the massive Easter eggs, and they give you a whole slew of things that you can do in your game. If Infinite Warfare Zombies doesn't have some kind of larger Easter eggs, they don't need to be things that you have to do. Like in Origins, for example, you pretty much have to build the staffs, right? And you pretty much have to sort of start the Easter egg in order to do the staff upgrade process and stuff like that. It doesn't need to be anything on that scale. But if they don't have any larger, more deep Easter eggs, it's going to be really, really unfortunate. Now, thankfully, they have said in an interview already that they really like the YouTube community and they really like our obsession with Easter eggs. And so I am hopeful that this is something that not only will be the top of my list, number 1 most important thing that I think that they need to implement correctly in Infinite Warfare Zombies, but also I think it's one of the top things that I'm expecting to be implemented well. I have extremely high hopes for this one, which is exciting, and I'm just looking forward to getting more info about this damn mode, right? Because a few weeks ago, they actually told us that we'd be seeing gameplay of it in August. So, it's exciting times. I'm really looking forward to seeing some of the mode, seeing what the hell they have planned, because the teasers so far have been extremely obscure, and I need some intel. So, hopefully this has been fairly interesting talk for you guys about the things that I think are really important to see in Infinite Warfare Zombies. One thing I want you to do now is let me know your most important feature in the comments down below, whether it's Easter egg related, story related, gameplay related, anything at all, even if it's just the art style that they go for. Whatever it is, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.